Hey folks, David Stewart here. Hope you guys are having a great day. Just want to say like one thing before I hop off to bed. Howling Mutant got doxed. If you don't know who he is, he's probably the funniest account I can think of on X. The guy is not just a masterful troll, but he tells a lot of really funny jokes. And so he got doxed because someone identified him as one of our guys, right? JD Vance follows him. And so you're going to expose his face. Turns out he's a really good looking guy. So if you are of the female persuasion and you're looking for a really good guy who's guaranteed to have a great personality, Howling Mutant is the guy for you. Now, I want to talk about some things besides just the obvious things that I've talked about before with doxing. Like, what's the point of exposing somebody's real identity when they have an anonymous account online? Well, the point is to endanger their lives and therefore get them to shut up. So there's a whole bunch of different things that they can do. But in this case, it's to make their life more dangerous. You expose who they are, where they work, so that knowing that there's somebody who might be psychotic enough to go kill them, to go turn them into another Charlie Kirk. This is a really honest thing that some people will just come out and say. This is the point of this, is to make it so that they have consequences for their speech in the form of someone will fucking kill them. Absolutely dastardly stuff, but it also has other implications, right? You want to get somebody fired. You want to be able to point a bunch of people at an employer to have them write a bunch of angry emails or whatever and call them up to tell them about how they should fire the evil person who told the bad, naughty, edgy humor jokes on the social media platform that everybody laughed at. So it's to harm the person. That's the point of doxing them. And the people who do the doxing can't really be harmed in the same way. That's why they do it, right? They work for an organization that won't fire them for doing what they're doing and won't fire them for any of the opinions that they hold. All the opinions that they hold are completely safe in their little bubble, and they're generally not going to suffer any consequences. It's pretty rare that they do. And usually it's going to be something that they are a normal person who steps into this arena and then starts doing these things, and then it turns out that they work at like the feed store, and calling for the murder of random people that you disagree with is not something that the feed store likes or is worried about their public image for that. And so they might fire them. It's pretty rare though, right? It's usually people that are working for media organizations, NGOs, that sort of stuff, where they're basically protected. They don't have to worry about getting doxed or any kind of consequence for their actions, rather being able to point hatred towards a person. And in that way, they have plausible deniability. They're just telling people who the person is and where they live and where they work. They're not telling everybody to kill him, but they know that somebody is going to think that they could kill the person or get the person fired. If they're not completely psychotic, they're only moderately psychotic, then they'll do that. So I've talked about that a lot in the past. Now, Howling Mutant's response to this was the best, which is he did not apologize and he did not back down. So if you ever get a cancel mob called on you, something that you should never do is apologize. Vox Day talked about this in a couple of his books, like that Corporate Cancer, SJW is Always a Lie, some of those books that he's written in the past. Never apologize. Apologies are the worst possible thing you could do if there's a cancel mob that comes after you. Now, you have to turn it around. They are wrong for asking for an apology. They're the ones who should be apologizing. They're the ones who should get fired. They're the ones whose lives should be destroyed for asking for an apology. No, you never apologize. It will only make it worse, because what happens is if you apologize, if you feel that pressure, people, I'm isolated, I'm alone, people are against me, I'll apologize and that'll make it go away. It's normal to want to think that, because if you are in a school situation, and even if you feel like you're not in the wrong, you might apologize to someone to make the social cohesion go smoothly, right? You apologize to your spouse for things, right? You're used to dealing with normal human emotions and interactions where you're making repair attempts and people are able to fix their relationships. That's not what's happening online. If you apologize, that is a signal to the people who are engaging in the cancel tactic to double down, that it's an admission of guilt. And because you admitted guilt, that means that you should have even worse things done to you. That means it's open season. He admitted his guilt. He should be fired. He should be debanked. His wife should leave him. His kids should be in jail. He should be in jail, hopefully raped. All of these sorts of things. Like it's only going to make it worse. So you never apologize. So Howling Mutant has been one of the few people I've ever seen correctly respond to a cancel mob by just continuing to be himself and to tear down the people that are attacking him, continuing to be funny every single post, lighting it up and making jokes the entire time. The jester doesn't apologize. The jester continues dancing. And there is an important service in our society to jesters, and we give people a lot of leeway for making jokes. South Park has made rape jokes in the past. That's generally forgiven. Why? Because we understood even back then that it's comedy. Comedy is meant to be a little bit transgressive. That's part of it. So even when they were maybe in the hot seat for it, generally they got away with almost everything. I think the only thing that they ever really didn't get away with was having Muhammad in the bear suit. So transgressive comedy in the past, we accepted it. Now it's viewed as one of many layers of thought crime, is that if you have any kind of criminal thought, that's what matters. That you're thinking the wrong thoughts, and if you're thinking the wrong thoughts, you should be punished. And if you're thinking the wrong thoughts, you certainly shouldn't give voice to them. And if anyone is thinking those wrong thoughts, they should bear them deep down and never tell anyone that they're thinking those bad thoughts, or the cancel mob will come for you. If he could get canceled, what have you said on social media? What's going to get you canceled? Now, the best thing we could do is to have no one be anonymous, for all of us to have the courage to do that, because they can't fire us all. But that's not realistic. What's realistic is that people are going to feel isolated, alone, and scared. They're merely human beings. Anonymity is pretty damn important. So that's what's going on with him. If you don't follow him on Twitter, you got to follow him. He's got a lot of great jokes. What's a classic? A black woman invented the telescope. Now, you may believe something different. You may have great evidence to the contrary, but is it worth being fired over? Is it worth losing your job? A black woman invented the telescope. Paraphrasing, he probably said it a little bit differently, a little bit more witty, but he has so many funny things like that are just gross or funny. Same thing with Manlet Thorin, who I know watches this channel from time to time. That's my other favorite Twitter account, because I just love to laugh. And I think this world needs a lot of laughter, needs a lot more laughter in it. And people that are willing to laugh and are willing to allow people to be jesters in a world that's full of a lot of animosity. So have a great one, guys. I'll see you all next time. Leave me your thoughts down below, down in the comments, and I'll see you next time.